Alright guys, welcome back to the channel. Thank you for checking the video out today. We have more PlayStation news, rumors, and leaks to go over and cover here today. So before we get into these topics, do me a favor, hit that like button if you end up enjoying the video or finding it informative. And if you are new here to the channel, please consider hitting that subscribe button as well. The first topic we're talking about is some new information on God of War Ragnarok and how it's going to have over 60 accessibility options at launch. Reading from PlayStation Lifestyle, it says those hoping for a comprehensive range of God of War Ragnarok accessibility options will be happy to hear that the game has over 60 settings that can be tweaked to help fine-tune the experience. Whether you need some assistance during combat, trickier movement sections, or any other element of the game, there should hopefully be a setting waiting to aid you. Speaking to God of War Ragnarok's lead UX designer, Gameinformer broke the news that the game has 60+ features aimed at aiding players through their adventures. Examples of some of the accessibility options include auto sprinting, direction indicators in combat, a high contrast mode, audio cues with captions, and easier to activate skill shots. Developer Santa Monica Studio tested the accessibility options with a number of consultants and testers, including veterans and blind players. The aim was to focus on vision, hearing, motor skills, and cognitive understanding. PlayStation Studios continues to lead the charge in implementing significant accessibility features to help more people enjoy them. So there you go. If you're somebody who was wondering just how robust the accessibility features in God of War Ragnarok are going to be, it sounds like, as with most of PlayStation's internal studios, they're going above and beyond to make sure that as many people are able to play this game and engage with it as possible. Moving to the next topic, we're talking about an interesting rumor regarding Amy Hennig's Marvel game that is being developed at her new studio at Skydance Media. This game is going to be revealed very soon, but we have what seems to be a potentially reliable source when it comes to Marvel. This comes from @MCU Status on Twitter, and the reason why people are paying attention to this is because they apparently proved to be an accurate source by letting people know who was going to be directing the upcoming Fantastic Four films, and they were correct about that before the official announcement happened. So on Twitter they said, "We have heard that the new Marvel video game from Skydance Media will be a World War II set adventure featuring Captain America and Black Panther. The duo will face off against the forces of Hydra." So yeah, this is something that we have not heard up until this point. There was a lot of, rumblings that apparently it was a Fantastic Four game that she's working on. Some people were thinking it was like an Ant-Man game, but we have not heard anything about a World War II themed Captain America and Black Panther game. Something that's a little strange about this one to me is we heard that EA is apparently making a Marvel game as well, and it's a Black Panther game. And I mean, I guess they could be doing, Black Panther with Captain America here with Amy Hennig's game and then do a, kind of standalone Black Panther game. But at this point, I kind of just want to ask you guys, if this turns out to be true, what do you think of this? I mean, to me, this actually sounds really cool. I would actually love to play this game, and I hope this is true. I hope that when we see this game from Amy Hennig's studio, this is actually what they're working on. So let me know your thoughts about that. Next up, we have a brief update on the PlayStation 5 version of The Witcher 3. For those who are unaware, this was something that was announced by CD Projekt Red, and it was already delayed a few times now, but CD Projekt Red has come out and reaffirmed that the PS5 version of The Witcher 3 is still set to launch in Q4 of 2022. So we just have a few months left, but they're saying that it's still on track and it's going to happen. I mean, at this point, I would say to still be a little bit skeptical because we know how these things work. They could be saying this now, and a couple of weeks from now, they might have to come out and be like, actually, you know what? We're going to have to delay it into 2023. But, for anybody who's been waiting for this version, this should give you a little bit of hope. But as I said, I would still remain just at least a little bit skeptical just in case. But moving on, we are talking about PSVR 2. I want to let you guys know that the first set of PSVR 2 games can now be wishlisted on the PlayStation Store. Reading from Push Square, they say, as was indicated alongside the surprise announcement of Firewall Ultra earlier this week, PSVR 2 titles are beginning to pop up on the PS Store. While you can't technically pre-order yet, The headset doesn't even have a release date beyond early 2023. You can add First Contact Entertainment's tactical shooter and the spin-off Horizon Call of the Mountain to your wish list. So the article concludes by saying Sony's rollout of PSVR 2 information has been, well, strange to say the least, but we know that the device will be playable for the first time at Tokyo Game Show later this month. That means we're just days away from getting first-hand impressions on the device. Hopefully it opens the floodgates for more coverage as we waddle towards the end of the year. And so yeah, I just wanted to kind of let you guys know about this. I think that this is a good sign that we're going to be getting more information on PSVR 2. Obviously, I feel like a broken record saying that. It feels like we probably already should have gotten more information on it, but if you're interested in either of these games, you can add them to your wish list on the PlayStation Store. So let me know if you're planning on wish listing either of these games. Now we are moving on to the final topic here, which is something that's been making a lot of headlines, and we're going to read it right from the source from gamesindustry.biz. The title of their article says PlayStation, Xbox's Call of Duty offer was, quote, inadequate on many levels, end quote. So reading here, they say Microsoft has promised to keep Call of Duty on PlayStation for 3 years beyond the current agreement between Activision and Sony, says PlayStation CEO Jim Ryan. In a statement provided to gamesindustry.biz, Ryan says the offer was inadequate on many levels. The disagreement between the two companies follows Microsoft's offer to buy Call of Duty publisher Activision Blizzard in a deal worth nearly $69 billion. The deal is currently being scrutinized by competition's regulators, with the UK regulator, the Competition and Markets Authority, concerned over the possibility of Microsoft withholding or degrading Activision Blizzard's content from other consoles or subscription services. Last week, Xbox revealed that it had provided a signed agreement to Sony to guarantee Call of Duty on PlayStation with feature and content parity for at least several more years beyond Sony's existing contract with Activision. Xbox said this offer goes well beyond typical game industry agreements. The current deal between Sony and Activision Blizzard around Call of Duty is believed to cover the next 3 releases, including this year's Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2. However, Sony says the offer fails to consider the impact on PlayStation gamers. And so this is the direct quote from Jim Ryan. I hadn't intended to comment on what I understood to be a private business discussion, but I feel the need to set the record straight because Phil Spencer brought this into the public forum. Microsoft has only offered for Call of Duty to remain on PlayStation for 3 years after the current agreement between Activision and Sony ends. After almost 20 years of Call of Duty on PlayStation, their proposal was inadequate on many levels and failed to take account the impact on our gamers. We want to guarantee PlayStation gamers continue to have the highest quality Call of Duty experience, and Microsoft's proposal undermines this principle. So as you can see, this is something that we don't normally get from PlayStation, especially from the CEO of PlayStation, that being Jim Ryan, coming out here and kind of making a statement like this, directly acknowledging something that Phil Spencer said. And if I had to guess why Jim Ryan felt prompted to do this, it's because when you listen to what Phil said, or if you read what Phil said, he was ambiguous about how long this deal was going to last between Sony and Microsoft for Call of Duty. And I think Jim Ryan just really kind of wanted to emphasize that it's not a very long deal at all. It's about 3 years, which in the, grand scheme of things, if you're thinking long term, that's really nothing at all. The one thing that Phil says here, though, that is certainly true, is that this is going beyond typical game industry agreements. I think what I take from that at this point is what he's highlighting is that Microsoft didn't have to make this deal with Sony, but they wanted to. But you can clearly see here that Sony is concerned that once this 3-year deal is up between them and Microsoft, that Call of Duty is no longer going to be available on PlayStation. And I really can't fault Jim Ryan or Sony for thinking this, because if Microsoft truly had no intention of making Call of Duty exclusive at any point in the future, and they are going to give it the Minecraft treatment, as they put it, and continue to just kind of release it on PlayStation for the, for as long as Call of Duty is going to be made, you would assume that there would be no need for a contract like this, right? And if they we're going to do a contract like this, you would think it would be for a longer period of time, not just 3 years. And I think that that's what some people were assuming. Like when Phil said that, yeah, we signed an agreement with Jim Ryan, I think people were thinking like 6, 7 years, maybe even a decade or something like that. So you know, you can clearly see that Sony is not happy about this. And you know, I don't really have a problem with Jim Ryan saying this. I don't have a problem with what Phil Spencer's saying. I just think that what we're witnessing are, you know, two big gaming companies that are fighting for something that they both believe to be very important to the future of their platforms. You know, I acknowledge the importance of Call of Duty, but personally, you know, I don't think I would be opposed in the long run if Call of Duty eventually does go exclusive to Xbox and Sony, you know, they have a bit of pressure on them. From what we've seen in the past, Sony, you know, they're at their best when the pressure is on. To see them try to create their own military FPS, AAA military FPS, and try their best to compete in any way they can, I feel like that would be a cool thing to see. Obviously, that will ultimately hurt PlayStation. So from a business standpoint, I think it's understandable why Sony is reacting the way they are and concerned about losing Call of Duty, because it will dramatically impact their bottom line if that day ever comes. But at the same time, people are kind of pointing out the irony where it's like, you know, Sony is certainly no stranger to exclusivity and paying for exclusivity as well. And so it is a little bit ironic to see a publisher that is doing this, you know, kind of coming out and also seemingly feeling nervous about the idea of, you know, certain games going exclusive to another platform. The irony is not lost on me there, but in general, you know, I don't think this really matters too much, only because we're going to continue to see Microsoft and Sony come out here and talk about the Activision Blizzard acquisition. You're going to see Microsoft come out and say, look, we want to buy all of these studios and own all of this IP, but we definitely don't want to make it exclusive. We want to make all of this stuff available for everybody. And you're going to see Sony come out and say, we don't trust Microsoft. We think that what they're doing, you know, is anti-competitive, whatever it may be, you know, just basically making it seem like it's a really bad thing for this to happen and to actually go through. So yeah, again, to me, the thing that's just really surprising here is the fact that we're getting statements like this from Jim Ryan. I mean, we rarely ever see Sony kind of coming out and being this candid, and it's nice, it's refreshing. It kind of makes me hope that we start to hear more and just kind of see and learn about what's going on behind the scenes, because as I said, you can tell that this is just heating up, and I'm sure there's much more happening behind the scenes right now than what we're learning about publicly. So yeah, that's going to do it for the video, guys. I hope you did enjoy it. I hope you did find it informative. Leave it a like if you did. Subscribe if you're new. Hit the bell notification icon, and feel free to share the video out on top of all that. But until next time, guys, take care.